There is nothing more precious than the relationship between a grandparent and a grandchild. I don't know what it is, but it seems that with a grandchild, they can get their grandparents to do anything that they want, things that their children never were able to get away with. It seems that it's no big deal to the grandparents. And then as you move further on down the line, you think about those great grandchildren. I heard a preacher say one time that with children, they get greater and grander as they go through the generations. But we need to understand that a grandparent is first a parent and remains a parent. Though our own children may have become adults, our roles in their lives have not yet ended. My children are still very young, but one of these days they will grow up. They will become adults. And while our role may slightly change, we find that our role in their life is still there. No, no longer are we their primary teacher or their disciplinarian. But we now have the opportunity to become a mentor, a counselor, and a friend. In Proverbs 4, verses 1 through 4, Solomon is passing on to his own children the good lessons that he learned from his own father. We greatly bless both our children and our grandchildren when the grandchildren can see that we embody and reinforce the principles that their parents are trying to instill. Hindsight, the vantage point of our own experiences, lets us see our successes and our mistakes as parents. And we need to take care to not damage a grandchild's soul by spoiling them or undermining the God given authority of their parents. But our wisdom, if combined with humility and honesty, may enable us to help our children to repeat our successes and all the while help them to avoid the errors that we've made in raising our children as they in turn raise their children. We have the ability, though, when we reach that stage of life of being grandparents, of being able to comfort and console our grandchildren when they struggle, to help them to understand why their parents are correcting them and disciplining them. But we don't ever need to allow ourselves to become a wedge between our children and our grandchildren. But secondly, grandchildren are meant to be enjoyed. So enjoy them as much as you possibly can. Solomon sets this forth in Proverbs 17 and verse 6. It is so wonderful when families have the ability to raise their children around their grandparents or even their great grandparents. I've been blessed to know some of my great grandparents. And I have so many wonderful memories of the times that I was able to spend with them, but also with my grandparents. And I cherish the relationship that I have with them, and the time that I get to spend with them. But grandparents, take the time to spend that time with your grandchildren. It will mean so much to them. It will be so precious to know that their grandparents love them and want to be with them. Delight in your grandchildren, but also understand that in the role that you have, that you are still a parent and that you are still a guide to those young people. And this brings us to our third and final point. Realize that God has given you a tremendous opportunity. You have the ability to help teach and mold the souls of your grandchildren. And so, whether you're able to see them on a daily basis, which is certainly a blessing, or whether your time together is limited to summers, holidays, and vacations, this is something that you need to focus upon your example. Set an example for your grandchildren of how to live the Christian life. Your grandchildren will look up to you. They will honor you, love you, and cherish you for the example that you set. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today and have a blessed day.